Hey everyone, in this video I provide you with a resource and show you how to use it to make really good money off of the markets in Albion. So in the video's description, there's a link to a spreadsheet that I made that we're going to be using to find inconsistencies in the market and make money. Okay, so when you click the link in the description, you'll come up with a page that looks like this, and you're not going to be able to use it yet because it's in view only so people don't mess it up. So in order to use it, first you have to make sure you're signed into a Google account. Just any Google account will work, and then you go up to File, and then hit Make a Copy, and you'll make a personal copy for yourself. And then you can use this copy and edit it however you want to. Okay, so once you've made a copy, you can see at the bottom here we have melding, salvaging, and upgrading, which are the three methods that we're going to be using to make money. Essentially, runes, souls, relics, and avashards can be melded up into different artifacts, and those artifacts can also be salvaged down into their base components of runes, souls, relics, and avashards. And then for upgrading, runes, souls, and relics can be used on gear to upgrade it to the next enchantment. So essentially what this spreadsheet is going to do is it's going to have you input prices of things in the market and then find the ones that are inconsistent between their prices of artifacts and prices as rune, souls, and relics so that you can make money off of them. So the first one that we're going to do is melding, and this is the most sort of intensive of the ones. You have to enter a lot of information before you can really do it, but that also means it can be some of the best money. So essentially what you're going to do here is you're going to pick one of these different items, so either tier 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runes, souls, relics, or avashards, and that's the item that we're going to be looking at. So for example, I've done this a lot with tier 4 souls and it often turns a profit, so I'm going to try let's say tier 5 souls. So the first thing that I want to do is go up to here, go to tier 5 souls, and then go to my market of interest and enter how much I think I can reasonably buy a buttload of tier 5 souls for. Okay, so I'm here in the Bridgewash market, so I'm going to go ahead and open it and search for tier 5 souls and see how much I can buy them for. So it looks like the 7-day average around 299 silver. Currently buy orders are at around 305 and they're selling on sell orders for around 320, so I think I can reasonably buy them for let's just say 306 because it's above average right now, so I think I can buy a bunch of them for 306 silver, so I'm going to go ahead and input that in my spreadsheet. Okay, so now that we've inputted that price in our spreadsheet, we want to go down to this left column here and find the tier 5 soul area. So it goes tier 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just all the way down, and then each of them has runes, souls, relics, and avashards. So it's right here, tier 5 souls is what we're looking for. So now essentially what we're going to do is we're going to look up all of these items tier 5 in the market and fill in what I reasonably think I could sell them for. And now keep in mind when you're looking at what you reasonably think you could sell them for, look at like the weekly averages as well as how often they sell, because sometimes their price fluctuates a lot or they don't sell super often. So you have to sort of do a little bit of research when you are looking at the sell price. So essentially this is where a lot of the manual work comes in. You essentially have to fill in all of these prices before you can see whether it's worth it or not to meld the tier 5 souls. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to search up all the prices and update them, and then we'll see if we turn a profit. Okay, so I finished up and updated all of these prices into what the market are at, and actually we have a fairly surprising outcome. We lose money, a lot of money if we do it on the warrior, we lose a little bit of money if we do the mage. We actually make around 26% of our silver extra if we do it on hunter, and around 25% if we do them all together, which is quite surprising because usually all together is far superior to doing any one of them individually, but it looks like this is actually a sort of anomaly where if you roll for just hunter, you will make a little bit of money. Now keeping in mind tax, this isn't the biggest return on investment that I've seen usually, or not, maybe not usually, but I've seen up to 50-60% before, so that's less than half of that. But so if we go ahead and we roll for hunter artifacts, we'll on average make a profit. So I'm going to go ahead and buy some tier 5 souls and show you how to meld them up to make some money. Okay, so we've gone ahead and bought 500 souls. You usually want to buy a lot more than this. This is only going to get us 10 rolls. Essentially, the more that you buy, the closer you'll get to that average that you put down on, or the return that it showed on the spreadsheet there. So to meld them, you just want to go to the Artifact Foundry, which is found in any town. You just go to this little symbol on the map here, and Bridgewash is over in the east corner, and it's the first tab here. So then depending on what you have, so I have tier 5 souls, so I go to tier 5 at the top, then I go to souls, in the middle, and my highest return was on Hunter gear, so I want to select the Hunter one, which costs 50. Usually it's going to be this all option, which only costs 36, but this was sort of the anomaly that it costs 50, so then you just go ahead and you meld them down. I'm probably actually not going to turn a profit here because I'm only doing 10 rolls, which means I have to essentially hit the jackpot, which I think I actually just did there. So I think Demon Hide Leather is, the most expensive of them. So I got lucky here. We'll make a profit on these most likely, unless they're all really bad besides that. So essentially you want to do as much as you can though, because that will get you the closest possible. Wow, two Demon Hide Leather. So we're getting pretty lucky here. But you can see even just my inventory's estimated worth has gone up quite a lot. Wow, I hit 3 of them. That's insanely lucky. I essentially doubled my money there just with those 10 rolls. So great example, but usually you won't make quite that much money. Usually it will be closer to the return on investment that you see on the spreadsheet there. So that's how you do that one. Now let's go on to the next method. Okay, so the next method that we're going to be using is essentially just the opposite of melding, and that it is salvaging. So essentially artifacts can be salvaged down. You can salvage them into their base components plus a base amount of silver, and so the really cheap artifacts are cheaper, or it's more cost effective just to salvage them down and then sell their base components than it is to sell the artifacts directly, although not everyone does this, so you can find inconsistencies in the market. So essentially this on the left here is where you're going to enter your prices, how much you can reasonably think you can sell the runes, souls, relics, and avashards for, and on the right here is a bunch of formulas. You don't really want to test this. These base values are based on the cheapest of the flat silver that you get from salvaging them, so you can actually make a little bit more money on this than average, but I just want to be on the safe side. You can make up to 4 times the amount to the base amount of these values here, but we just kept them at the lowest possible just to ensure that you're always going to be making money. So I'm going to do let's say tier 6 avashards. So I'm going to go over here and go to tier 6 avashards and enter how much I think I can reasonably sell them for, which will update this price over here, the tier 6 avashard here, which will give us a base point to see how much we can look to buy artifacts for. Okay, so after looking at the Bridgewatch market, looks like we can reasonably sell these tier 6 avashards for around 3,000 silver right now. So enter that value and it updates this price on the right here. So now essentially I want to go and look at the avashards. These are all the names of them down here just for reference on the market and see if they're less than this around 9k. If they're less than 3.9k, that means I can salvage them to get a profit. Now, if they're really close to 3.9k, it's probably not worth it, including taxes and stuff, but if they're significantly lower than 39k, then we'll make profit on them. So I'm going to go look at the market and see if I can find any that are under 39k. Okay, so it looks like right off the bat, just even the very first thing we searched for, we have something that's just a little bit under 39k. So we'd make on average around 5k for every one of these we bought at 35k, because they're 5k under that 39k. It looks like there's quite a lot at 35k as well, all the way up to here. So we could buy all of these out and make a little bit of profit. I'm going to go search to see if there's anything even lower than this 35k amount that we can make even more profit on. Okay, the very next thing I searched for, I kind of know these are really cheap, which is why I searched for them specifically, but it looks like these massive metallic hands, which make the Hand of Justices, are very cheap right now. They're only at 30k, and remember, we can salvage things for up to 39k, so we're going to make a 10k profit on pretty much all of these ones that we buy for 29k, so I'm going to buy these all up, and then we're going to salvage them. So to salvage them, you can either do it at the Artifact Foundry where you were before, or you can just do it at a repair station here. So you want to go to the second tab, this little recycle symbol. And remember, we bought these for around 180k at 30k each. And we're going to get 34k back, as well as 75 of the Avalonian shards, which is going to be estimated at 441k. So this estimate seems to be a little bit high, but essentially you can see we've made quite a lot of money just by buying those out. And this is really easy and quick to do. Essentially you can just quickly search for all of the shards on, or all of the artifacts, sorry, on the market, and see which ones are under, and just really quickly make a nice easy profit with this method. Okay, so now moving on to the very last method in this spreadsheet, which is upgrading gear. This is the simplest of them. Essentially, you don't have Avalonian artifacts for this one. It's just runes, souls, and relics, which can be used to upgrade any gear. So you're going to choose here to start what you want to upgrade. Flat 4 to 4.1, 6 to 0.2 to 6.3, etc., etc. I'm going to just do very basically tier 4 to 4.1 because that's very common. There's a lot of things you can make money off of here. The profits aren't the hugest unless you buy large volumes of them, but we're going to see how much money we can make just upgrading some random gears. So I'm going to go to the market and see how much I can reasonably buy tier 4 runes for in large bulk, and then it will update here and we can see how to make some profit. Okay, so I just went and checked the market, and it seems like I can reasonably buy these tier 4 souls, or runes, sorry, right now for around 13 silver. So we're going to enter that 13 silver value there, and essentially now we can see we have the cost for upgrading all the items at this 4.0 to 4.1 value. So if I want to upgrade any offense, helms, boots, and capes, it takes 48, which is going to take 624 silver, bags and chests 96 at 1.2k, one-handed weapons 144, just under 2k, and two-handed weapons 192 at 2.5k. So essentially what we do with this information now is we look on the market and we look what tier 4 can we buy that we can upgrade. That's upgraded cost to sell is much more than the cost of the runes. So let's go over some examples here in the market. Okay, so we look here in the market. I'm going to start with something that takes 48 runes to upgrade because that only cost me 624 silver to upgrade. So I'm going to look for like a Leering Cane. So if I look at the flat 4, it's going to cost me 10.5k, which means if I go to 4.1 and I can sell it for more than 11.2k, I'm going to be making profit. So let's go to 4.1, and you can see there's 16k, and they do sell quite often as well. So I'm going to make a pretty good profit just by buying tier 4 Leering Canes, upgrading them, and then selling them back off. So I'm going to buy 3 of them here. And let's also do a two-handed weapon, which costs around 2.5k for us to upgrade. So I'm going to search for one here. Okay, so it looks like I found another one here in the pike. It's going to cost me around 1.6k, so, and 2.5k to upgrade. So if we add 2.5k to the 1.6 original cost, I guess that's just over 3,000 silver. And looks like they're selling closer to 5,000 silver. So if I upgrade some pikes, I'll also make some money. So I'll buy one of these as well. So now all we have to do is buy our runes. And then we can go and upgrade these gear. So you're going to upgrade at the same place that you meld, which is at the Artifact Foundry. So we're going to go back to our Artifact Foundry, which is a little symbol on the map again. Hit the third tab, which is the Enchant tab. And then you can just click and drag items over there or shift click them. And we can even see in our inventory it's estimated 45. Well, I guess the estimated isn't going to help us here, but oh, it is going to help us on the Leering Cane. So we can make just a little bit of money there. So you can do that with quite a lot of gear and make quite a lot of money. Really, you can see that if you're doing tier 4, you're going to have to do quite a high volume. But if you're doing tier 6, 7, 8, it's going to only take a few items to make a pretty big profit sometimes. Okay, so that's it. That's how you use this spreadsheet to make a lot of money. Now, obviously, the more people doing this, the worse it's going to be. However, there are a lot of different player-driven markets in Albion, ones at each town, and there's tons of different options for you to do depending on what tier you want to do and which method you want to do. So finding one that works for you is going to be key. Take some time and research around, see which one you like the most and which one is yielding the best profits for you, and maybe stick to that one. 2 quick notes before the video ends here. First off, if you find a problem with this spreadsheet, please let me know as soon as possible so I can get it fixed. I didn't actually test every single one of these options as there's quite a lot, so I might have made a small mistake in one area. If you know how to edit formulas in Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel, it probably won't be too difficult to fix as they're pretty basic, but if you don't, let me know and I'll try to fix it ASAP. Second, you can actually use this as a sort of base and have the data automatically inputted from Albion's API and essentially just have to look at it every day and see which profits are the biggest. I personally didn't really want to do that because then everyone would just go for the biggest investments or the biggest profits, and the markets would sort of just crash for those items constantly if a lot of people were using it. So you can do that for yourself and it's probably even better, but even if you don't know how to do that, doing it the manual way is still very good for making money. If you like this video or it helps you out, make sure to subscribe. Let me know in the comments, as I can make more money making guides, sort of market manipulation, things like this, as there's tons more that you can do on the market to find inconsistencies and make profits.
Right in the beats.